You probably don't even realize it, but your hair tells me everything. Your lips never say. The way it falls when you're tired. The way you tuck it behind your ear when you're nervous. The way you let it flow freely when you finally feel safe. It's like your heart is speaking through every strand. I notice it every time. I always have. You might not think I pay attention to things like that, but I do, because your hair, your eyes, your silence, even the way you breathe. They all tell me stories about you that you don't even realize you're telling. There are days when your hair looks a little messier, when you didn't bother to brush it perfectly, and I know right away that something's been weighing on you. Maybe it's worry, maybe it's sadness, maybe it's one of those quiet battles you never let anyone see, but I see it. And in those moments, all I want to do is reach out, gently move that strand from your face, and whisper, you don't have to carry it alone anymore. And then there are days when your hair shines like it's kissed by sunlight, when you walk in and every little movement looks effortless. That's when I know you've found your rhythm again. That small spark of happiness you thought you'd lost. You see, your hair speaks when your voice doesn't. It tells me if you slept well, if you cried last night, if you're trying to convince yourself you're fine when you're not. And I've learned to listen, because your silence says more than words ever could. You once laughed and asked me why I always touch your hair when we're together. You said it felt like a habit, but it's not a habit. It's my way of connecting with you, without having to say too much. It's how I remind myself that you're real, that you're here, that you're not just a dream I've been holding on to. Because sometimes, when I look at you, it still feels unreal. That someone like you exists. Someone so human, so imperfect, yet so breathtakingly beautiful, just as you are. Do you know what I love most? It's not when your hair is styled perfectly, or when you've spent hours trying to make it look flawless. It's when it's undone, when it's natural, when it's messy in the most beautiful way, because that's when I see the real you. The you who laughs too loud. That the you who forgets how stunning she truly is. The you who thinks she has to be strong all the time but secretly just wants someone to hold her. That's the version of you I fell for. Sometimes I imagine brushing your hair while you sit quietly in front of me. Not saying a word, I imagine my fingers tracing through every strand, feeling the warmth of your skin, the calm of your breathing. That silence, it's not empty. It's full of everything I've ever wanted to tell you, but never could. It's full of love, patience, and the kind of peace I only feel when you're near. Your hair holds memories too. The scent of the places you've been, the wind that's touched your face, the moments when you turned your head to hide a tear. It carries a history that only I seem to notice. Every time you change it, whether you cut it shorter or let it grow longer, I can tell what it means. It's never just hair. It's always an expression of what your heart's been through. Like the time you told me you were thinking of cutting it all off. You said you needed a fresh start. But I could tell it wasn't really about style. It was about letting go of someone, something, or maybe a version of yourself that no longer felt right. And I remember telling you, whatever you do, I'll still recognize you. Not because of your hair, but because your soul could never hide from me. And I meant that, because even if you changed everything, your look, your name, your city, I'd still find you. I'd still recognize you in a heartbeat. You're not someone I could ever confuse with anyone else. There's something in your presence, something that no one else carries. It's in the way your hair moves when you walk, like it's caught in a rhythm only your heart knows. Do you ever realize how magical that is? That something as simple as your hair can make me stop and just... Sometimes I'll catch a glimpse of you from a distance. Maybe the back of your head, the light hitting your hair just right. And I'll freeze for a second because even that small sight feels like home. It's like my heart says, there she is. and suddenly everything inside me goes quiet. I know this might sound strange, but I think your hair mirrors your emotions. When you're angry, it moves sharply, like fire. When you're sad, it hangs heavy, like rain. When you're happy, it dances with the wind, carefree and light. And when you're in love, when you let your guard down and your eyes soften, your hair becomes this halo of softness that glows without needing sunlight. That's when you're at your most beautiful, not because of what's on the outside, but because your soul finally shines through. I don't think you've ever realized how much I read you without words. You've never needed to tell me how you feel. I can sense it, and I wish you could see yourself the way I see you. I wish you could understand how breathtaking it is to witness you, even on your worst days. Because even when you think you're falling apart, I see something divine, strength hidden behind softness, grace hidden behind exhaustion, beauty that doesn't fade, even in your most unguarded moments. There's something else I've never told you. Sometimes when I'm alone, I imagine your hair brushing against my skin again. That light touch that sends chills down my spine. Not because it's physical, but because it reminds me of everything we never said. That one small moment holds the weight of every emotion I've ever had for you. And I find myself wondering, do you ever think about me when you brush your hair? Do you ever pause for a second, like your hands remember how it felt when I touched it? I can't explain why something so simple carries so much meaning. Maybe because your hair was the first thing that told me who you really were. Free, wild, untamed, yet soft enough to make me forget everything else. And now whenever I think of you, that's what I see. Not your clothes, not your smile, not even your words, just that quiet, graceful way your hair moved. The first time I looked at you, so when I say your hair says something you don't even realize yet, I mean that it tells me who you truly are, not who you try to be, not who the world expects you to be, but who you are deep down. The woman who's still learning to love herself, still healing, still shining, even when she doesn't know it. And maybe one day when you finally look at yourself and see what I see, the softness, the strength, the quiet beauty that no one else can touch, maybe then you'll understand what I've been trying to tell you all along, that you don't need to change a single thing, because you've already been perfect in ways the world could never understand. And your hair, it's just the first whisper of that perfection I fell in love with the moment I found you. You know, I couldn't stop thinking about you after what I said before. That moment when I talked about your hair, it just stayed in my mind all night. It's strange how something so simple can carry such deep meaning. The way your hair falls, the way it moves when the wind touches it, the way you unconsciously tuck it behind your ear. It's like every little thing about it tells a story you're not even aware of. And I keep asking myself, why does that story feel so personal to me? Why does it pull me in like a secret, written only for my eyes? You might not realize it, but your hair speaks. It really does. It whispers things you never say out loud. Sometimes it says you're tired, when it's a little messy, like you didn't have the energy to fix it, yet you still showed up, still faced the world. Sometimes it says you're happy when it shines and catches the light just right, reflecting your glow. And sometimes when you're quiet, it says you're lost in thought, maybe overthinking something, maybe missing someone, maybe feeling something you can't explain. And every time I see that look, that soft, unguarded look, I just want to tell you, I see you, I understand you, more than you think. Because I do. I see the hidden feelings you try to brush away. I see how you pretend to be okay when your heart is heavy. And maybe that's why I'm so drawn to even the smallest details about you. The way your hair moves when you sigh, the way it frames your face, when you're lost in your thoughts. The way it hides you when you're trying not to show your emotions. It's like your hair protects your heart, like a silent veil between your feelings and the world. But you know what's even more beautiful? When you let it fall freely. When you stop worrying about how you look or what people will think. That's when you're the most breathtaking. Because in that moment, you're real. You're not pretending. You're not hiding. You're just you. And that's when I feel something deep inside. This strange calmness, like the universe pauses for a second, just so I can look at you. You have no idea what it does to me, seeing you like that. When the light hits your hair and I can see those little sparkles dance across it, I can't even breathe for a second. It's like your presence has its own rhythm, its own gravity. You don't even try. And yet somehow everything about you pulls me closer. It's not just beauty. It's something far more powerful than that. It's energy. It's emotion. It's you. Sometimes I wonder if you know what kind of effect you have. How something as simple as a strand of your hair falling across your cheek can completely disarm me. I'll catch myself staring and then I'll look away. But it's too late. The image stays in my mind like a quiet memory that refuses to fade. And no matter what I do, it keeps coming back. Maybe it's because your hair carries memories. Maybe it remembers the way you felt. The happiness, the heartbreak, the laughter, the tears. Maybe it remembers the hands that once touched it, or the nights you cried and it stuck to your face, or the mornings when you smiled at yourself in the mirror and felt proud to be you. And I think maybe I'm falling in love with all of that, with your story, with every emotion you've ever felt that somehow still lingers in you, making you the person you are right now. And you know what makes me a little crazy? When I imagine running my fingers through it, not to fix it, not to change it, but just to feel the warmth that it carries. To feel close to you in a way that doesn't even need words. Because there's something deeply comforting about you. Something that makes me feel safe and wild at the same time. Like I could get lost in you and still somehow find myself again. I wonder if you ever realize how powerful you are. Not in a loud or obvious way, but in the quiet way your presence changes the air around you. You could walk into a room without saying a single word, and I swear, the whole energy would shift. People might not notice it, but I would. I always do. Because you don't just exist. You move through the world like a poem that nobody can quite translate. And maybe that's what I've been trying to do. To understand you. To read every line of who you are. But every time I think I've figured it out, you surprise me again. There's always another layer, another emotion, another version of you waiting to be discovered. It's like you were never meant to be understood completely, just felt. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm feeling you. You might laugh if I told you this, but I can sense your emotions even through silence. When you're listening to me quietly, I can almost feel your heartbeat slow down. When you're thinking deeply, I can feel that gentle wave of softness around you. And when you smile, even if I can't see it, it's like the whole world brightens for a moment. You have that power. Sometimes I imagine being near you, not saying a word, just watching you as you play with your hair, completely unaware of how beautiful that small act is. Maybe you're thinking about your day, or maybe you're lost in a thought you don't want to share. And I'd be there, just quietly admiring how something so ordinary could look so extraordinary when it's you. You see, I don't love you for perfection. I love you for your realness, for the way you exist in moments that are not polished or planned. When your hair is a little messy, when your eyes look tired, when you're not pretending to be strong, those are the moments I feel closest to you, because that's when I see the truth. The truth that you're human, that you feel, that you care, that you love, that you hurt. And that truth is what makes you beautiful to me. You don't even have to try, my love. You don't have to be perfect for me to stay. I've already seen enough to know that what I feel for you isn't temporary. It's not based on appearances or moments. It's something deeper, something that grows quietly inside me every time I think about you. And maybe you don't know it yet, but your hair, the way it falls, the way it flows, it's a part of that connection. Because when I see it, I see you, every version of you. The strong one, the soft one, the one who laughs, the one who cries, the one who keeps going even when it's hard. And every version is just breathtaking. You might not believe me, but when I say I care, I mean it in ways I can't even explain. You've become part of my thoughts, part of my peace, part of my quiet moments. And no matter where you are right now, no matter what's happening in your life, I want you to know this. I see you, I feel you, and I'm not going anywhere. So tonight, if you run your fingers through your hair and wonder what I'm thinking, know that I'm thinking of you. Every strand, every thought, every heartbeat, because you, my love, you're the story that never stops unfolding. And your hair, it's just the beginning of all the things I still want to discover about you. And maybe someday when the world grows quiet, I'll whisper it again. That what I see in you isn't just beauty. It's meaning. It's connection. It's everything I never knew I needed. Hidden softly in the way you simply exist. You know what's strange, my love? The more I think about you, the more I realize how much your smallest details have captured my heart. It's not just your hair anymore. It's everything that surrounds it, everything that flows from you without you even realizing. The way you tilt your head when you're deep in thought, the way your lips part slightly when you're about to say something honest, the way your eyes soften when you're lost in your emotions. It's all connected. It's all you. When I said your hair says something you don't even realize, I meant that it reflects the emotions your heart tries to hide. And lately, I can feel something new coming from you, something gentle but different. Like there's a storm behind your calmness, a softness that hides 1,000 unspoken feelings every time you let your hair fall naturally, without thinking too much about it. It feels like your heart is trying to speak, quietly, carefully, hoping someone is listening. And I am. I always am. Sometimes I wonder what thoughts cross your mind when you stand in front of the mirror. Do you ever look at yourself and see what I see? Do you notice how much your presence carries? How your beauty isn't in your makeup or your clothes, but in that quiet confidence that comes from simply being you? I wish I could make you see yourself through my eyes. Even for a moment, you'd understand why I talk about you the way I do. You'd finally realize that what I feel isn't based on what's seen. It's based on what's felt. You know, I often imagine what your mornings are like. The way you wake up, maybe a little sleepy, your hair slightly messy, but still perfect to me. I imagine you stretching, maybe brushing a few strands out of your face, maybe sighing before your day begins. And I wonder, if I were there, would I be lucky enough to see that version of you up close? The version the world never sees. The version that's just real. Because that's what I crave. Not perfection, not performance, but the truth of you. The quiet, unfiltered, tender truth that you don't show to everyone. The truth that hides behind that soft smile and those eyes that say so much more than words ever could. Sometimes I think you don't even realize how loud your silence is, how it speaks directly to me, without effort, without trying. And when I think about your hair, how it moves when you turn your head, how it flows like a soft wave when you walk, like it's carrying the feelings you haven't said yet, like it's whispering, I'm still figuring out how to say what's inside me. And I want to tell you, you don't have to rush. You don't have to explain. I already feel it. Every time I picture you, it's like my thoughts slow down, the noise fades. I stop worrying about everything else. You bring me this strange peace, this sense that even if everything else in the world falls apart, just thinking about you will make it all make sense again. And it's crazy, right? Because I've never been this affected by anyone before. No one has ever lived in my mind like this. You're not just a thought anymore. You're a rhythm, a pulse, a heartbeat that echoes quietly in me. I keep remembering this one image of you. Your hair slightly wet after a shower, falling freely around your face. You didn't even do anything, but there was something raw and magnetic about you. Maybe it was the way you looked at yourself with quiet curiosity, like you were seeing your reflection and wondering who you were becoming. And I wish I could have been there to whisper in that moment, "You're becoming you, the woman I can't stop thinking about." You know what I love? The way your presence lingers, even when you're not around. It's like the air remembers you. The silence feels different after you've spoken. The thought of you doesn't fade, it deepens. Sometimes I'll be doing the most random thing, maybe drinking coffee, maybe just sitting quietly, and suddenly your image appears in my mind. That same softness, that same warmth, that same mystery, and my chest tightens. Just a little. Not in pain, but in something deeper. Something like longing mixed with awe. And I keep asking myself, why you? Why does your existence reach me the way it does? Why do I feel like I've known you even before I met you? There's something unexplainable between us. Something that doesn't need names or labels. It's not something I control. It just happens, like a pull, like gravity. You pull me in without trying. Maybe it's because your hair, your voice, your energy, they all carry the same message, softness, with strength. You've been through things. I can sense it. You've carried emotions that nobody else truly understood. You've smiled when your heart wanted to cry. You've been quiet when you should have spoken. You've forgiven when others didn't deserve it. And that's what I see when I look at you. Not weakness, but power. The kind of power that comes from surviving. And I think that's what your hair symbolizes to me. It's not just beauty, it's a reflection of your journey. The way it grows, changes, flows, it mirrors the woman you are. Wild, free, unbroken, and endlessly beautiful. And even when it falls across your face, covering your expression, I still see you. I see the light behind it. I see you. Sometimes I imagine running my fingers through it, not out of desire, but comfort. Like maybe if I touch it gently enough, I can calm whatever thoughts are spinning inside your head. I can tell your heart without words. You're safe here. You don't have to hide, because you don't, my love. Not with me. You never have to hide your real emotions. You never have to pretend to be okay. I want the real you, the emotional you, the tired you, the brave you, the uncertain you. Every part of you deserves to be seen and loved. You know what else? I think your hair is the way your heart speaks when your lips can't. The way it falls, the way it reacts to the wind, the way it glows under sunlight. It's like it's trying to remind me of you when I can't hear your voice. It keeps me connected to you even from afar. Sometimes I close my eyes and imagine you in that one moment. Your head resting softly against the pillow. Your hair spread out around you like a halo. You're quiet, peaceful, maybe even a little lost in your own thoughts. And I whisper into the silence, hoping somehow the feeling reaches you. You're not alone. You never were. And maybe that's what I've been wanting to say all along. That even if the world feels distant, even if your days feel heavy, I'm still here, quietly thinking about you, quietly admiring everything that makes you who you are. You've become more than just someone I talk to. You've become a part of my emotional landscape. The calm in my chaos, the warmth in my cold moments. So, when you brush your hair tonight, when you look at yourself and wonder if anyone truly sees you, remember this, I do. I see every silent story written in the way you move, in the way you breathe, in the way your heart speaks through the smallest gestures. You don't even need to say a word for me to understand you. And I can't help but think, maybe this connection between us isn't an accident. Maybe it's something that was always meant to happen. Because when I look at you, when I think about you, everything suddenly makes sense. Every confusion, every delay, every wrong turn in my life, they all led me here, to this feeling, to you. So tonight, my love, when your hair brushes against your skin, let it remind you of me, of this quiet connection that doesn't fade. And if you close your eyes, maybe you'll feel it too. That soft, unspoken pull, the warmth of being seen, the comfort of being understood. Because even if the world forgets for a while, I won't. I'll still be here. Quietly, gently, endlessly, waiting to hear what your heart says next, through the silence of your breath and the whisper of your hair. You know, I've been thinking a lot about the way your presence lingers, even when you're far away. It's like your energy refuses to leave the space around me. Sometimes I can almost feel your hair brushing against my skin when the wind moves past me. It's strange, but I don't fight that feeling anymore. I've accepted it, because somehow your essence has become a part of everything I touch, everything I see, everything I am. When I said your hair says something you don't realize yet, I think now I finally understand what it's been trying to tell me all this time. It's been telling me that you're changing, that you're slowly realizing your worth, your strength, your place in this world. It's like your hair carries messages from your heart, quiet, gentle signals that reveal who you truly are, even when your words don't. And I can see it, my love. I see you growing, glowing, and becoming something extraordinary. But there's something else too, something deeper. Lately I feel like your hair has been carrying a kind of sadness, like the strands that once danced freely have been moving a little slower, like they're tired of holding secrets. And I wish I could reach out, tuck a few strands behind your ear, and whisper, you don't have to carry it all alone. Because I know what it feels like to pretend everything's fine when inside you're breaking quietly. You've always been the kind of person who smiles for others, even when your own heart is heavy. You comfort everyone else, but when it comes to you, you stay silent, you hold back, you endure. And maybe that's why I'm drawn to you so deeply, because I see the kind of love you give. It's rare, it's real, and it's selfless. But I also know that behind that love, there's a heart that needs to be loved back the same way. Completely, genuinely, patiently. If I could, I'd sit beside you right now. Not to talk, not to ask questions, just to be there, to feel your presence, to hear your breathing, to remind you through silence that you're not alone. Sometimes, love doesn't need grand gestures or perfect words. Sometimes, it's just about staying, and that's what I want to do. Stay. Even when you push me away. Even when you don't know how to explain what you feel. Even when you go quiet. For no reason. I still want to stay. You might not believe me when I say this, but every little thing about you matters to me. The way you fix your hair absent-mindedly. The way you look down when you're thinking deeply. The way your voice softens when you're tired. All of it. It's like your soul speaks through those moments. And when I catch myself thinking about you, it's not the big things that come to mind. It's those small, unguarded moments that no one else notices. I know sometimes you wonder why I see you the way I do. Why I call you my love. Why I say you're special when you feel ordinary. It's because you've never seen yourself the way I see you. You see flaws, I see stories. You see imperfections. I see depth. You see hair that sometimes doesn't fall perfectly. I see a crown that life itself placed on you. You don't even realize it, but everything about you carries grace. Even your silence, even your uncertainty.